Step 5, getting fucking paid. That simple. Focus on leads, focus on opportunities. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Fabe. If you're new to the channel, this channel is about teaching you how to wholesale real estate, whether you're in a budget, whether you want to learn how to, do subject twos, creative finance, whatever it is. I've been doing this shit for a while. So yeah, today's video is about the 5 steps it takes to wholesale a property. So I want to simplify this as easy as possible. For anybody that's new to the real estate wholesaling game, anybody wanting to learn, anybody that has no idea what wholesaling is, this is the video for you. So step 1 to your wholesaling business when you're starting out is your marketing. That's step number 1, and the marketing is going to be your heart and soul of the business. And with marketing comes consistency, and that's one key word I want you guys to remember throughout your whole wholesale career is consistency. Because as long as you're consistent and you market, opportunities are always going to be knocking on your door. So consistency is key in this game, and I see that happen a lot when newcomers coming in. They do 50 calls, 100 calls. They say, hey, I'm not getting any calls. They stop being consistent. They stop seeing the traction and they just quit. And so that's, I don't want that for you guys. It's a numbers game. So if you've done, if you're hitting the calls right now, if you're texting, whatever your method is right now, just keep going. It's a numbers game. Eventually something's gonna hit. So yeah, marketing is step number 1. So as far as marketing, I'm gonna talk to the newbies, to the ones, on a budget, don't have a lot of money. So this list as far as marketing is not in no specific order. So number 1 would be driving for dollars. And I talked that in my other videos. Driving for dollars is simply just driving your neighborhood, get a little notepad, look for neglected properties that look vacant, properties that look, that nobody lives in them. Jot them down, skip trace them, which is the process where we look up the phone numbers of the homeowners and just hit them up. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, my name is Fabian, just seeing if you're interested in selling your property. It's that simple. So if you're starting out, driving for dollars is a good choice. All you need is your cell phone. As far as skip tracing, Google it, ask me, I'm here to help. But don't overthink this business. That's what a lot of people do. They overthink it. So if you have an opportunity, don't think you need to know everything else. Baby steps. Get somebody that knows the business. Let them walk you through the process and get the deal done together. So it's that simple. Driving for dollar. Another one is the list of pre-foreclosures. Also free. If you go to your county, here in Harris County, you can look them up for free. Takes a little bit of work, but I mean, what doesn't? So yeah, pre-foreclosures, I like them because they're already motivated. They're behind 3 to 5 months on their mortgage. They're limited in options. So if the bank doesn't really want to help them out, if they don't have the money to catch it up, I mean, the really other option is listed with the realtor or sell to an investor. And because time is of the essence with these types of leads, normally they go the investor route. So another one is agent outreach. That's reaching out to agents. Another way that costs no money. You can simply go on Zillow. You just Google whatever area you're in. Google any realtors in your area. Hit them up. Introduce yourself. It's like, hey, my name is Fabian. I'm an investor here in Houston. Just looking to buy more properties. Whatever your strategy is, whether you're flipping, renting, just be honest, build a rapport, and just see, hey, I'm sure you work with a list of investors, but how can I get on that list? Well, what do I need to do to get on that list? I'm not represented. You're more than welcome to represent me, meaning they'll get that extra 3% to kind of motivate some. And just build relationships with agents. It doesn't hurt. Fucking talk to at least 5 to 10 a day, and eventually they're gonna start sending you deals. So another one is Facebook Marketplace. I see it underused a lot. You can go in there. Don't do scammy posts, scammy ass flyers. Take your time, make a nice little flyer. Go live on these groups, and by groups I mean the for sale in Houston, for sale in Galveston, for sale in San Antonio, for sale in Florida, whatever the group is. Go in there, introduce yourself. And again, just don't make it scammy. Just make it personal. Let the people know what you do. You can even go live, upload a video, just depending on their rules. So just make sure you read the rules of each group. But yeah, that's another great way that you can, generate leads. And the last one on this list as far as step 1 in marketing is reverse wholesaling. That's pretty much looking for the buyer first. So go networking. Again, costs no money. Go network, go find, people with money, doctors, lawyers, real estate investors, anybody that wants a return on their money, and get their criteria. And so once you know exactly what their buy box is, this is why it's called reverse wholesaling. Now you're going to go to real estate networking events and network with wholesalers. I mean, you don't have to, you can do it through Facebook as well. You don't even have to go to networking events. Network with wholesalers and get on their list. So every time they send out a property and that property fits the criteria of one of your buyers, hit up the wholesaler and be like, hey man, my name is Fabian. I have a buyer ready to go. They got the cash. They can close in 2 weeks or less. Show them that the real buyers, is there an opportunity to work together on this deal? And most times they will work together. And it's called a JV, a joint venture agreement. So you pretty much work it together. And for the most part, it's a 50-50 split. But yeah, I mean, these are ways that you can literally create money, create opportunity from thin air. So step 2, locking up the deal. It's hypothetically speaking, you send out your marketing, you get a good lead. And again, you don't need to know everything. If you get a good lead and you know that it's hot and they're ready, they're motivated, hit somebody that's been doing this business for a while and just be like, hey, I got a property. Let's partner, learn from them, do 2, 3, 4 deals with them, and then venture off on your own. Don't think you need to know everything. That's where most people kind of stop, because they get overwhelmed with all this information. I need the contract, I need the title company, I need the LLC. You don't need any of this shit. Focus on marketing and marketing only. Generate leads, generate opportunities. The rest will fall in its place little by little. Don't try to do it all. For my first couple of deals, I partnered up. I think like 5, 6 deals, I partnered up with somebody in the area and gave them 50-50. I don't mind. It's pretty much like paying a mentorship. Just learn the ropes, and eventually, hey, they knew I was going to eventually do it, on my own. But it's a great way to start. So yeah, step 2 would be locking up the deal. Obviously, if the numbers make sense, get with the homeowner. There's a purchase. And a lot of my deals, I don't even see the homeowner. But if you're starting out, it's good to get in front of these people, kind of build a rapport. I've always, it's always best to meet in person, especially if they're local. So yeah, it's pretty simple locking up a property. It's a purchase contract. I use a 2-pager. That 2-pager, you're going to outline your purchase price. It's all cash, as is, pretty simple. And again, if you need a contract, on my comments, I pin my link tree, and it has the contracts, everything you need. I don't sell anything. I just want to help you guys find your first deal. It's pretty plain and simple. And again, if you need help with that, reach out to whoever in your area is doing the business and hit them up. They're not going to say no. It's money for them. So it's that simple. So yeah, locking up the deal. Step 3 would be finding the buyer. Me personally, when I find a buyer for these properties, I personally never go meet the buyer. Unless they're local, they're in my area, 10-15 minute drive, I'll go meet the buyer. But you guys starting, go meet the buyer, build a rapport, walk the property with them if possible. And once the buyer, likes the property, they decided, hey, the numbers make sense for everybody. You are now going to assign that property to that buyer using an assignment contract. So remember, we had the purchase contract with the seller. That's between you and the seller. That's the purchase contract. And now once the buyer comes into the picture and they say, hey, I want the deal, you're going to assign that contract to that end buyer, and you're just going to make that difference. It's that simple. Again, it's 2 contracts, one for the purchase and sell, and one assigning your right from that contract to that buyer. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as finding the buyer. Make sure you get good earnest money. I don't fuck around with buyers that don't put minimum 3-4K non-refundable. I got a good title company in Clear Lake if y'all need to use one. And again, don't overthink it. It's easy. And if you got a good deal, the deal is going to sell itself. You can always put it on Facebook, or if you have a list of your buyers you've been networking, hit them up personally. Hey, I just got a deal. But a good deal always sells itself. That's the easy part. So now step 1 was the marketing. We got a potential. Step 2, we locked up the deal. Step 3, we marketed, looked for a buyer, found the buyer, assigned the contract. Now we're going to take those 2 pieces of contracts and send it over to the title company, all done through email. You don't need to go in person. You're going to let the title company know, hey, my name is Fabian. I have a property I have under contract, and I plan on assigning it to the end buyer. Here are both contracts. New buyer is going to send the earnest money, and it should be in 24 hours, no more. Because if they don't deliver earnest money in 24 hours, they're probably bullshitting, and it's not a valid contract. So I rip that shit up and go on to the next. As far as the title company, they're going to do most of the work. They're the ones going to open title, because the buyer gets something that's called title insurance, and the title company is going to make sure and ensure that there's no judgments, no liens, anything attached to the property that can affect the closing. So that's their job. They're going to take care of everything. And meanwhile, you're going to be in touch with the seller. You're going to be in touch with the buyer. Keep them up to date. Even though the title company is going to do that, keep them up to date, and just make them feel comfortable throughout the whole process. So yeah, as far as the title company, they kind of take care of everything. Again, reach out to me. I got a good escrow agent in Clear Lake. I think Clear Lake or Webster. We can go in person to the title company, introduce you guys, and and they do wholesale deals. They do everything. I've been using them for years. And step 5 is closing the deal. I mean, it's that simple. Once the title company tells you, hey, title is clear, everything is clear, judgments, liens, taxes, everything seems good to go. And they pretty much just set the seller and buyer the same day, different times. I like setting them at different times. I never want to do it at the same time because I don't want them to meet. And for the most part, I never even go to the title company. They'll just wire the money straight to the account. And it's that simple. Like, it's crazy that it looks difficult. I see a lot of people, give up, but it just comes down to numbers games. It comes down to simplifying everything, and it comes down to just seeing the property and not worrying about comps, not worrying about anything. Just how can I turn this, whether maybe they don't have equity, whatever the situation, how can I be a problem solver for that homeowner? That's the goal in this business. Just how can I problem solve, and how can I make it a win-win for everybody, and everybody eats, everybody makes money, and it's a beautiful business. I mean, me being a musician, I've been in the airport, I've been in Mexico closing deals all through laptop, all through computer. Sometimes, like I said, I don't personally ever visit the properties. I never even meet the buyers, never even meet the sellers. But yeah, don't expect that from the beginning. Get your feet wet. I mean, you're going to get cussed. You're going to get fucking all kinds of shit when you're making these calls. But don't give up. These calls can turn into 10, 15, 20, 30K. I mean, just think about it that way. It's who the fuck makes that kind of money just by making a simple call, and then everything else you can set up systems and processes and kind of automate the business. That's kind of how we have it right now. But again, baby steps, focus on marketing, focus on creating opportunities. Don't worry about everything else. If you have an opportunity and hey, this is a good fucking deal, don't waste time. Get somebody that knows the business, partner with them, learn from them. And like I said, it's like paying a mentorship. But yeah, I guess that's it. Those are the 5 steps to wholesaling a property. Kind of ramble a little bit more. I'm looking at my script here, and nothing that I wrote I said. So I fucking free float everything. But yeah, appreciate everybody watching. I'm in the new little office. We have an extra room here at the house. We had equipment we haven't used, so we said fuck it, let's try it out. Meanwhile, I have a shed outside that's going to be the little corporate office, hopefully with little podcast room, and invite anybody that follows the channel doing their first deal. I just want to inspire, motivate everybody, anybody, and just provide as much value as I possibly can. Appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this video was helpful. Please leave your any questions y'all have. I'll try to do a video on them. On to the next.